Previously on Chocolate and Friends.
Well, signal's down. Let's be off. Chop chop, you stupid trucks. Julian tugged at his train too hard, causing a company to snap, and half of his train to be left behind. I hope you get scrapped and die in a fire. It's your fault. You got me trapped in this shit.
Come on, Julian.
It's happened by chance. By chance. This lunatic did it.
How can I? I can't physically destroy your points or jam them.
He's got the points.
Shut up. Chocolate, go, Julian. As soon as you get freed, then you will shunt at the Vicarstown goods depot until I can trust you again.
Thomas, before we continue on, did I see you take 3 cushions instead of Annie and Clarabel? While I was at Stafford talking to the police about my mail mishap? Oh yeah. Some boys smashed the windows on Annie and Clarabel. Boy, I'll tell you, these 3 replacements are a pain in the buffer.
Oh, hi, sir, officer.
Captain Tenchik and I have questions for you, but do we need answers? These days. Disrespecting real person.
Something the matter, Daisy?
What do you care? Oh, my bad, the chocolate. I didn't see you there. I thought you were someone that wasn't going to listen to others.
That's alright, but you look like you were just in a fight with someone.
Indeed I was, with one of Thomas's temporary coaches, that he has to use until Annie and Clarabel return.
That's odd, because Stephanie told me that all coaches were on their best behavior.
Only Shiro is the bitch of the group. Betsy and Veronica have been kind of using the branch, but Shiro is full of herself.
I can understand.
The thoughts of Julian were clouded in his mind. So, how much longer until a person could come back? His workload had to be divided evenly between the 4 of us.
He'll be back tomorrow in the early evening.
Well, that's good to hear.
May I lend you some advice on how to deal with Cheryl?
Yes, please.
Ignore her. If you talk about her too much, then that means that she won. I will talk to Stephanie about this and see what he says.
Thank you. But I know how to deal with her on my own terms. So, how was your run?
A refreshing one. I visited Daisy over at Elsbridge.
Did you ask her how the branch line is doing?
They're struggling with your workload, along with theirs too.
I'm so sorry. Percy, you can't help it when you're out of service. And besides it, you should be grateful as you're going back tomorrow, to help them ease with the wee goods work. Of course. By the way, any updates from the Little Western? No need to ask him, Donald. What is that? My driver received updates from Oliver's driver. Speaking of updates, Bossman told us to grab some slates from Croven's Gate.
I'll be back, you three.
Chocolate arrived as Croven's Gate buffed up to the slate trucks. Stephanie was nearby on the track next to him. Morning, Chocolate.
Morning, Stephanie. May I ask you something about those coaches that you brought here from the Bluebell Railway?
You mean Cheryl, Veronica, and Betty?
Yes, well, Daisy mentioned that they've been giving them a hard time on the branch line.
Well, that's odd.
Why is that?
When I worked with them on the Bluebell Railway, they were kind to us. I mean, Cheryl can get a bit too full of herself sometimes, but she does mean well.
I can understand that.
Just then, Julian came to a stop next to the two engines. Are you talking smack about Cheryl, you piece of shit?
Why are you still doing this to me, Julian? What's that ever done to you?
You jammed my points of Willsworth on purpose, making me look like a fool, especially in front of Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and caused my train to split in half the day before Willsworth. Are you trying to jinx me? Who? He means Bill and Ben. I see. Thank you, Rusty. Pah, you pile of wasted space. Stephanie, why are you talking to this shit engine and the black midget? Racist ass. They have respect and kindness. You can always depend on them. Depend on them? Pah! I can understand about the midget being sort of dependent, the brown turd ain't one to depend on.
Why are you doing this to me?
It's your fault. Julian, shut up! Julian's driver pulled on the lever, and Julian puffed away, wishing steam all over the chocolate.
What's that for?
Always being in the way.
Wow, he has no empathy for others.
Haylock's always been like that, even on the Bluebell Railway. He's not done it to me, but I could see how his victims feel.
Thank you. Just to make it clear, Stephanist, that I never jammed his points. I wasn't even there when the points jammed at Wellsworth Yard. Neither did I split his train in half. The latter was caused by rusty coupling.
I know. I'm sorry that he's been doing this to you, Chocolate. I will have a long talk with him. How long has he been doing this to you?
I just came back 3 days ago from being over in Los Angeles for 2 years, and the second I was put on the rails at Sprendam, that's when he started.
You know what? I think that he's jealous of you. I mean, you had a happier outcome with your life, working for a rich billionaire, while he gets kicked out of the Bluebell Railway due to bad behavior as he had on the engine's rolling stock. Well, except for me and Cheryl.
Why Cheryl?
That's something that's been crossed my mind, even to this day.
Why do I have to be stuck on a dirty branch line and with a stupid blue tank engine? Well, it's a new experience. Besides, we get to go on local runs with the famous #1. Bessie, if I'm going to be honest with you, no one cares to listen to a stupid brake coach like you.
How rude! But he does have a point, Cheryl.
Veronica, I could care less of what you and Betsy have to say. I mean, none of you are first-class characters like me.
Cheryl,
You just chill and stop being for yourselves. You both are sluts. Now shut up.
You feeling this, driver?
Of course, dude.
Well, we can use this as evidence to catch her off guard. Stanley had heard of this coach, and Stephanie brought the coaches from rail and furnace to be used on the railway. Stephanie pulled into the platform of the Vickerstown goods depot station. Julian was nearby resting in the siding before he was due to head back to shunting some more trucks of scrap. Hello, Julian. Oh, Stephanie, listen, I'm sorry for stepping earlier. It's okay, but that's what I want to talk to you about. Listen, the reason I snapped is that I've become a bit overly stressed with the workload. Here, I was wondering if you can be able to help me with the shunting here? I wish, but I'm to head back to the Blue Lab rally tomorrow. But I might know someone that can help. If it's chocolate, they'd rather have him in the smelter's yard getting scrapped and burned to death alive. How can you say that, Julian? Because he jammed my points. I talked with him, and he wasn't around Lowellsworth when it happened. He did it. He pushed the truck off the rails, jamming the wheel, causing the points to stay stuck. That's unrealistic. Trust me, it's the truth. I doubt that, but I will talk to him. I'm always better than chocolate. And that brown engine will always be a loser. Stephanie talked to the fat controller about getting chocolate to help Julian at the goods depot that's in Vickerstown until a permanent solution can be found. The fat controller came to see Julian. Stephanie told me that you are a bit overly stressed with the workload here ever since I sent you to work here. Yes, sir. All because of the chocolate. You need to stop constantly blaming him for the points jamming out to Wellsworth and for being a jerk to him. I went over the security footage that day, and nothing showed of him during the timing of the points jamming. If I asked him to help you, then can you be nice to him? Fine. Only for you, sir. Thank you. Oh, and if I find out that you are being a jerk to him, you can expect a worse punishment than working here. Please God, don't make me work for a company that doesn't listen to their customers and is always losing their money easily. A couple days went by, and the Fat Controller, along with Captain Tanzik, went to the works to have a talk with Chocolate after seeing security camera footage of him sneaking to the old abandoned workshops and the ghostly boy. Now we know you've been sneaking to the old workshops by the Scully really late at night.
What are you talking about?
So who's the mysterious disappearing boy?
I don't know.
Oh, you do know. Tell me who it
I
is.
didn't see any boys there when I was around, and when I was leaving.
I still can't have you trespassing on private property.
Yes, sir.
Chocolate, just kindly tell us the truth.
I'm afraid it'll hurt me more than it'll hurt you.
I see. What's for as a punishment? I'll have to send you to work at the goods depot at Vickerstown.
You can't be serious. I don't want to work with Julian.
I just had a talk with him a few days ago, and he said that he'll be on his best behavior.
If you say so, sir.
Chocolate left to the goods depot feeling worried. Thomas and Oliver resting at Timoth, with the coaches getting ready to leave with their afternoon runs down their own branch lines. So I see that you got new coaches, Thomas. They're only temporary until Annie and Clarabel gets repaired, after some boys threw stones shattering the glass. Oh my, are they alright? They're alright. But the passengers had to be taken to Wellsworth Hospital. I can understand. By the way, how are the new coaches treating you? Betsy and Veronica are chill, but Cheryl's a nightmare. How so? She puts down Betsy and Veronica to make herself be better than them. Talks back about others, including chocolate. Well, she'll make someone have trust issues there.
If you're both done talking smack about me, then how about talking something positive about me? I mean, I am better than everyone here. Well, you have put down a lot of people and made enemies. Shut up, you slut.
Was that really necessary?
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. Cheryl, you're absolutely the worst coach that I ever had to work with in my life. First class or not, you should treat others with respect.
Alright, you cheeky blue puffball. You will down, Cheryl. Veronica, shut the up.
Cheryl, there's a third-class passenger aboard your train.
Ew, get him off me, ew.
Your point's proven, Betty.
Of course, Oliver.
Thomas, I may know someone that can help you deal with Cheryl. I think I know who you're referring to. Oliver sets off down the Whistle Western. Where is he? Where's that dumbass? Be patient. He was probably told just now to come here. Do you think I care about him? I want help, not from him. Hey, you said to the back controller you were going to be nice to him. Shut up, driver. Chocolate soon came to a halt in front of the big green tank engine. You're late, dipshit.
I was just told to come here now, and you did promise the fat controller that you were going to be
Nicer. Ha, that was a lie to get things through. Besides, individuals like you shouldn't be left alive.
Why did you have to be a dick to me?
Because I can! Hey, watch it. Oops, my bad. I thought the siding was empty. You retard.
Paxton, what brings you here?
Just dropping off equipment, the machinery that's in these vans. I'll move them to the other side and... Since the vans won't couple up to Julian after Paxton accidentally bumps them into him, Paxton moved the vans to another siding.
I'm going to go help him.
Are you alright, Thomas?
I wish I could say yes.
Are those coaches giving you a hard time?
Only one of them.
Which one?
Cheryl, your first class carriage.
What about the other two?
They remind me a lot of you. Same personality-wise, and no nonsense kind. They can't stand for Cheryl's behavior, and neither can I. She says that branch lines are vulgar, but she's been stuck on the Blue Rail Rally the past decade since it opened in the 60s. And Stephanie mentioned that it's a lot shorter than my branch line, even when they expanded to East Grinstead.
Isn't Stephanie around to give you some advice on how to deal with her?
I haven't seen him lately. Scarlatti, who was resting nearby after taking on water, overheard the whole conversation. That's because he left a few days ago to the Blue Rail Rally. What's for? I think that his Bullies tickets was expiring. He needed to hurry back. I understand, Scarlatti. but I can't say that I tried to ignore Cheryl. She's a lot like Julian. That show-off. He did go way too far just before Stephanie left. I eavesdropped on the whole conversation between the two, Rusty and Chocolates. Julian was being completely narc and just plain rude to Chocolate and Rusty. If it wasn't for Stephanie being there, God knows how crazy the situation could have gone. That's a surprise, but it does give me an idea. Thomas left back to his branch line, saying his farewells to his coaches and Scarlelli. Chocolate was moving some vans in a siding for the Smoking shop, but the Scarlelli rally line can only access. He was just about to move off to do some more shunting when Julian pushed a line of trucks. Blocking the points for Chocolate to use to exit the siding.
What was that for?
For jamming my points at Willsworth.
How many times am I going to tell you this? I did not jam your points.
Stop a line, you loser. Julian left to do more shunting, leaving Chocolate trapped in the siding without realizing someone had witnessed the whole thing. Lily had to cover for Thomas's run while he was visiting Annie and Clarabel at the works. She was fed up with Cheryl's rude behavior towards her, Veronica, and Betty. Cheryl had let her brakes slip on, bent multiple times, whenever a third-class passenger was inside her carriage, as there wasn't enough room in Veronica and Betty. It was becoming too much for Lily to handle. I was having enough of this. After her run with them, she left Veronica and Betty inside the carriage shed, while she put Cheryl out in the open siding for some questioning. What do you think you're playing at?
Why should I answer the likes of you?
Why did you have to let your bike slip after Tory Rick? Right when we were leaving.
Simply because a third-class passenger was watching me, and I had to teach him a lesson.
That's still no excuse to slam your brakes on, causing the train to be 20 minutes late.
Well, if you were a first-class role model, then you would know how I felt. Obviously, that isn't the case in your defense.
I treat all my passengers with respect, first class or not. You should learn to do the same with yours on any train that you are put on.
Ha, you're too soft, sweetie, and that's bad. It won't get you anywhere that far. Take my advice. Show everyone who's boss.
And to be like you, sooner or later, you'll lose trust in others.
That's never going to happen, darling. Besides, I know my limits and my passengers, but I doubt that you'll understand.
You know what? I do. I'm like you. Lily left to take on some water.
Hello? Anyone else there?
Who the bloody hell put these trucks my way? I thought he was also trapped by the trucks that Julian had shunted to block Chocolates.
Ivo, what are you doing here?
I was jumping off some scrap that was left at Scully when some teenagers that plotted after a wedding party last week and loaded them to the smelting shed.
Well, as soon as Mr. Percival finds out that you were trapped here with me, they're bound to send for help.
Well, I didn't think of that way. Message sent. Ah, same here, same here.
Julian's going to get into bigger trouble.
Thomas was taking out water at the yards before his last train of the day. Douglas was nearby with Toad, talking to Lily about Cheryl's horrid behavior. Oh, we've dealt with rolling stuff with that recently. Take a look at Mr. Scruffy. Buddy, don't forget that spiteful predicament, dude.
What's happened with those two?
Well, Mr. Scruffy was teasing Mr. Oliver after he fell into the turntable well, after some ballast trucks pushed him. Afterwards, we lined up the worst of the trucks one by one. Mr. Scruffy was pulled at the front. Mr. Oliver tried to pull them, but the trucks held back, causing Mr. Scruffy to tear apart and dragged him on the rails. Sir Charles Tubberhat said it was bad for discipline and gave Mr. Oliver a wink.
I assume the trucks behaved better with Oliver around.
Precisely. Well, more than a wee bit different with the spiteful brakeman. I ended up crushing it while helping James up the hill. But let me tell you, it was an accident. I had no control over it.
Well, I once let my anger get the better of me to the point where I crushed her.
Thomas listened to the whole conversation and went to grab the 3 coaches. When nights came, Chocolate's out of view were still trapped in the same place.
Ivo, I'm sorry this happened.
It's not your fault, mates. Julian chose to do it. He will get punished. Quite right, Ivo.
Mr. Percival? Yes, I got your driver's text. Chocolate, the biggest sound good stable manager, is here too.
Sir,
Chocolate, stop. Don't blame yourself for this. The workman videotaped the whole thing, and I believe Julian is on his last chance before his pride becomes his downfall.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Now let's get you out of here, boy. And back to the sheds and Nafford for a rest. After you take a train of empty vans back to the main yards, Julian and I will be having a huge talk.
Yes, sir.
Thomas was waiting at the first platform for his evening train to depart, not knowing what was happening. Veronica and Betsy were so full, so any extra third-class passengers had to sit in the back half of Cheryl.
Do they expect me to have such rubbish inside of me? This is mutiny.
Passengers didn't care to listen.
Surely one run was hurt. It don't ruin me status. Status? I'd lose out on this run. I shouldn't have to listen to the likes if you lot. Only Julian has my respect, or any famous engine.
Let's make the passengers proud and have a smooth run. Come on, ladies. As they were leaving, a creaking noise was heard coming from the front of the train. This wasn't noticeable at first, until they passed the signal box, when the noise volume increased. The train came to a stop, with Thomas off the rails, decoupled from the train, and Cheryl's wheels came off as she laid right on the ground. Betsy and Veronica were still on the rails.
Oh dear.
Did you intentionally do that, Cheryl? Just to not have a third-class passengers?
No, you pulled too hard.
Pull the other one, Cheryl. She means your wheels.
Oh, shut up, Betsy. No one likes you.
The next morning, Chocolates brought the breakdown train. and Thomas was lifted back onto the tracks. Daisy and Lily took the passengers home safely with Veronica and Betty, an hour after Thomas had derailed.
I should have been there to help.
There was nothing you could have done.
I meant to give her a talk.
The Fat Controller arrived to see Thomas. Good news is that you don't have too much damage, Thomas, so you can head back to the branch line.
It's not a fault for that.
Of course not. Wasn't his fault. That coach, on the other hand, is. The Fat Controller strode towards Cheryl. Rusty bogies, damaged sleepers, broken frames, unserviceable before arrival. Not physically, but mentally. Bad for discipline, I say. You got the last sentence from a book. We'll put you back into service, but not for passengers, as you can't control yourself that well. I know a better place. He winks at the brothers, which spurts across the faces. Chocolate left Cheryl at the scrapyard by Edward's branch line for the workmen to deal with. Chocolate told Edward and Boko about it, and also mentioned about what Julian did. Well, Julian should not have done that. I might have an idea of how to deal with it, but it involves your owner, Richard Boldwell. Chocolate grinned happily. Thomas was reunited with Annie and Clarabel after Jeff had dropped them off. The Fat Controller gave Veronica and Betty another chance, and were assigned to be Eric's coaches. They loved their new job, and were happy to be useful and out on the line. But what about Cheryl? She was assigned to be the workman's hut, and was painted in the northwestern Rayleigh's brown living room. The workmen are pleased to have a place to relax during their breaks, and when they were off the clock after a hard day's work. I think she deserved this, don't you? Bert, was that you? Pull the other one, Larry. Does that sound like me? Let's check it out. It's probably a working and being stupid. I could have sworn that I've heard something. Yeah, this is Thomas with a creepy look.
No, I'm not Thomas. Some say that I'm the reverse.
Then prove it.
Oh yeah, sure. Once you see what I look like, you'll know how death really is.
Stop me at Wolves and show us. Otherwise we'll scrap you right now. The grabber is hungry.
If you're grim messengers of doom. Oh yeah.